Hi, I'm Nick Scott, and I've been working with Jonathan Tanner on Rootcause Global's applied AI experiments, where we're both really interested in how AI impacts the ability to influence and get messages heard and understand what's going on in information environments and digital information environments. And we really think, both very clear that digital has really made some big changes in how influence happens, how information and messages are heard. And therefore, we want to understand whether how AI can help, but also we're really aware that AI is likely to make things worse. So it's kind of part of these experiments is what's the positive here? Because there's potentially a lot of negative. Now, one thing that's been talked about quite a lot in terms of AI is the idea of kind of agents, like email being read by your agent and filtered and understood. Now, I have lots of worries about things that make automatic decisions for you, but there is something that a lot of us miss, which is we miss a lot of emails. We miss a lot of potentially useful information because we sign up to so many mailing lists. Could AI help us in identifying signal amongst all that noise so that we don't miss things that we otherwise would miss? That's the first content experiment, and I'm going to take you through the workflow I've put in place to try and give us a sense of an answer. Okay, so the first stage of the journey is collecting all of the potential articles, reading, YouTube videos, everything that might be necessary to filter and to share with Jonathan in this case. So what I did is I set him up a email address. I set him up. I asked him for a list of RSS feeds, news feeds, and Substacks and other things that he subscribes to, and I added them all into my reader. So everything that is received from the subscriptions he has and the emails that get forwarded ends up in Reader, and you can see a list here. Now, importantly, can you see there's tags in here? Those tags actually are really important, and the no relevant tag is too. So going through the list, you'll see a whole heap of different things that I'm subscribed to, and a lot of it says no relevant tag, and some of it says other things. Now, what Reader does, it's got a couple of great features. One is what's called Ghost Reader prompts, and that's an AI prompt. So inside Reader, you have an ability to tag, and you can set up a custom prompt. And here is my custom prompt. So your job is to review various types of documents, read it carefully, consider if it contains insights or information directly related to one of the themes listed, specifically in the context of digital information environments and democracy. So this, at the moment, is focused just on Jonathan and his needs. And these themes are the themes from his latest publication and that he's worked on for a few years: fragmentation, disintermediation, contested reality, decline of text, and datafication. Now, quite importantly, because of the way AI works, it needs to have another one that is if there's no relevant tag. So there's another tag there, or another theme for no relevant tag. This prompt essentially looks at the whole text of an article and tags it with one or more. There's also one thing worth saying, that if it's fragmentation and artificial intelligence, the artificial intelligence theme also gets added. Then you can see it in the feed. And here, for example, is an article that's been tagged contested reality. One of the things we need to be sure of, is this really about contested reality? Okay, so once we've got Reader tagging the articles with one of those tags, those themes of Jonathan's work, what do we do next? Well, the next thing is actually that once a day, an automation is run. It's this automation in make.com. And all it does, for all of the color that you see on the screen, is speak to Reader, say, can you give me any new articles, filters the ones that have that tag in, one of those tags, and then adds it to a database, which is Airtable. Airtable is a database tool. It's between a spreadsheet and a database tool. It then sends me a message saying there are new articles. I have to go through a tiny little manual process to turn on a public view of that article so that it can run it again and collect the full text of that article. The only reason I do that is because Reader at the moment does not send the full text of an article. Why do I need the full text of an article in Airtable, in the database? because I want to run a second AI prompt. The first AI prompt was in Reader and it tagged the article. The second prompt asks, why do you think, looking at the text of this article and the tag that's been given, what is the reasoning why this article was tagged in this way? That is added back into the Airtable database, the reasoning, and then once a day in another make scenario, I'll just find it, we do a digest. So Jonathan gets sent an email with all of the articles that have been collected that day and the reasoning why they might have been included. And here you go. Here's the final piece, the email that's received every day. It could look prettier at the moment, which is just a minimum viable product, but you've got the headline with a link to the public view that Jonathan can read, a quick summary of the article up here, if it lets me text, and then here is the reasoning as to why it might have been included. So this article is about the challenges and impacts of AI on individuals and organizations. It's talking about AI generated on spam on Facebook, and that's been tagged with contested reality because AI generated spam, fake content on Facebook is confusing users who can't distinguish real from fake. It's AI generated nonsense. So that's why it's been tagged there. And also artificial intelligence by default has been added because it's relating to artificial intelligence's impact on contested realities. Then there's a newsletter from Tectonic Organizing, which has been picked up, highlights growing difficulty between real and fake content again. It's been picked up for disintermediation and artificial intelligence. Now, the really important part to finish off of this is that actually Jonathan's feedback is going to be the thing that makes this work or not. These articles should be articles that probably he would otherwise have missed. Hopefully they'll be highly relevant, and even from the summaries, he'll get a sense of what is out there that he might otherwise be missing. The idea is not to take up lots of his time with extra reading, but to find the things that are signal amongst the lots of noise that gets into his inbox on a daily basis.